Hey, have you been doing a little bit of research on where to live in Michigan? Maybe you're looking at Marquette, Michigan. Maybe you're looking at Traverse City, Michigan. Well, in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the different pros of living in Marquette versus living in Traverse City. And I know these are both vibrant beach communities that a lot of people are considering moving to. And in this video, I hope that I can kind of help settle that debate and really kind of help you decide on where to move. And I'll be honest, again, you are on the Living in Marquette, Michigan channel, so I may be a little bit biased, but to be honest, I have a good place in my heart for both places, whether it be Marquette or Traverse City. So either one of those places you'll really enjoy. And with that being said, I do have excellent representation in either area, so you will be taken care of no matter which way you decide. So we will be able to work with you through that process. And again, this is Travis Juntti. I'm with the Living in Marquette, Michigan channel. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell to make sure you get notified anytime we'll put out new content. And make sure you stay till the end where we kind of really go dive deep into all the different things that you can do in these different areas and what the actual cost of living in those areas. So it really comes down to those factors on making that decision on where to move. So first and foremost, what I want to do here is I want to jump into the map so you have a better idea of where Marquette is and where Traverse City is. So if we jump into map here, I'm just going to zoom this out real quick. So Marquette and Marquette County is sitting right here in the central upper peninsula of Michigan. We are here, we got the Wisconsin border. We're bordering right up against Lake Superior here, which we'll go into more detail here soon. This is the largest municipality inside the upper peninsula. We're sitting right around that 20,000 residents, and Marquette County as a whole, here's the little diagram here, is sitting right about 66,000 people. Now for Traverse City, we're sitting right here, so I'm going to zoom this out real quick. So here you got Michigan. You know, obviously you're probably most familiar with Detroit. You got your Grand Rapids, you got Lansing, you got Ann Arbor, but Traverse City is way up here. This is what most people call up north, but really up north is kind of just north of the bridge, the Mackinac Bridge here. But Traverse City is sitting right up here at the bottom of the Grand Traverse Bay. Beautiful, beautiful waters on Lake Michigan. In this little area here, Traverse City is about 15,000 people, 15, 16, whatever that might be. But it also sits kind of right within, you know, Grand Traverse County, which has a population of about 95,000 people. So Traverse City as a whole, it is a little bit smaller city per se than Marquette. But as far as the whole county surrounding it, I mean, the county is a little bit more populated than it is in Marquette. So keep those numbers in mind as we go through and discuss the different things of Marquette versus Traverse City. So I'm curious, I'd like you to put down in the comments below, you know, what has you considering making a move to Marquette or Traverse City? What I want to cover primarily in this video, we're going to cover school systems. We're also going to cover the things to do in these areas because heck, there's a lot of things to do and that might take up a lot of time. And then also the cost of living. So you have an idea of what it might cost to live in these places, you know, if you were to actually look to buy a place. So you have a general idea of what that's going to look like. So first and foremost, I want to start with the school systems. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the school systems. Like I said, I do work with a lot of families moving here. I do work with a lot of different, you know, people working with Northern Michigan University. There's a lot of people that are moving here for that. But what I do like to start with the school systems because sometimes people are just curious on the different school systems. And this is a compare video between Traverse City and Marquette. So if you're looking at in this data, of course, please do your own research when you're looking at schools. That could be like I use niche.com. But that also could be like School Digger or other sites that you find, you know, great schools. I don't know what those sites are exactly, but look at those sites and try to get an idea of what's best for you. Sometimes when you're looking at houses, it might just come down to the pricing. You might not care about the school districts because some of the school districts are relatively the same. You know, when I'm looking at like Marquette County, for example. Starting in Marquette, right, so we have a couple of different public schools that are rated really high, and those being Marquette and Negaunee schools. You know, Negaunee is just up the hill, just past Walmart there. I mean, you get up into the snow belt, quote unquote. They have really high rated schools, and they're both rated at B+ schools, according to niche.com. Negaunee actually has, you know, they're in the top 100 public schools in the state of Michigan. So a lot of people are moving to Negaunee, not only actually for the lesser price, but also for, you know, the school system. That being said, there's nothing wrong with Marquette schools. It's also rated in the top, I think, 150 or so schools out of like 600 schools here in the state of Michigan. So there's still excellent school system. And on the other side, you do have Traverse City School District, which is also rated a little bit higher than Negaunee schools. I mean, they're at an A- level, and I think they were right around that, you know, top 80 in the state of Michigan. So they are definitely a high-rated school. You do have some good options for schools, and of course, outside of Traverse City, the actual city University. There's also some other school systems there that are great as well. But like I said, do your own research on that. Find out what is best for you. If that's something that you really want more detail on, we could certainly talk about that further. So what I really think that you guys all came here for is really the things to do in Marquette versus Traverse City, because this is where your way of life, this is your living, this is your lifestyle. And again, this is Travis Juntti with the Living in Marquette, Michigan team. All my contact information is down below. Reach out, let's have a conversation, whether it be Marquette, whether it be Traverse City. Like I said, we have connections in all areas that really help you with that move and help you with that decision. Call, text, email, whatever is best for you. Let's help you out on that journey. So let's continue on. What I want to do, I kind of want to go, break into Marquette first. So just kind of go from one city to the next city. I'm not going to go pro. I just want to make it simpler so it's easier for you to digest. So here we are, we're going to start in Marquette. So first and foremost, like I said, these are both beach towns. The difference there is Marquette is sitting up there on Lake Superior, which is going to be a lot colder. If you're not familiar with the Great Lakes, I mean, Lake Superior is much colder than Lake Michigan is. It's beautiful beaches, a little bit different beaches, but they're still beautiful. I mean, it feels like you're on the ocean. Maybe not as blue as Traverse City might be, but the beaches there are absolutely beautiful. I mean, I love it because it has refreshing water. I mean, if you're warm in the summer, you want to jump in refreshing water, and that's just what feels good. But I know it feels a little bit chilly, shivery for people that are coming into town and aren't quite used to that, but it's excellent refreshing water. And with that being said, they have lots and lots of shoreline, lots of different beaches that you can enjoy. Some of the popular ones might be, McCarty's Cove. This isn't necessarily beach, but like Black Rocks is popular up in Presque Isle if you're doing that route. But there's all kinds of beach right along Lakeshore Drive there that you can find and just set out your beach towel and lay out there. I mean, if you're looking for a not crowded beach, there's plenty of options for you to find a place to lay your head and catch some Z's or whatever it might be. Maybe you want to go up to Wetmore Landing, a little bit more. It used to be more private up there because it's a little bit further out, right? I mean, it was probably 15 minutes out of Marquette or whatever, but it's becoming more popular because it has just very scenic views. You're looking at Little Presque Isle or whatever it might be, just the wonderful shorelines of Lake Superior. So I don't know if you're into hiking, you're into sightseeing, you're into skiing, mountain biking. All these things can be accomplished in both towns, as you'll find out. For mountain biking, for instance, right? I mean, Marquette Mountain is an absolute treasure for Marquette. They've spent years and years on developing those trails. Kudos to those folks. Lots of excellent bike shops in town to help you keep your bike up and running. If you're looking for e-bikes, there's lots of different e-biking around town. So lots of good options there for really just kind of staying active. I know e-bike isn't really active, but it kind of gets you outside, right? Now, this isn't necessarily Marquette, but if you wanted to go, maybe an hour east into Munising, you have the excellent Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. That's an absolutely beautiful place to go, but this is an absolute treasure of a place. This is becoming more and more well known, more and more discovered, so it's getting busier and busier, but this is an absolute treasure. You can take boat tours, kayak tours, just go for hikes. Lots of different fun you can have there in Pictured Rocks area. But if you're looking for other hiking, right in Marquette, you have Hogsback and Sugarloaf and different trails abound that you can find. If you're looking for outdoor life, there's all kinds of different fishing you can do. You can have the big lake up, obviously Lake Superior, where you'll find a lot of good lake trout fishing, right? If you're looking for the rivers, right? You got Yellow Dog River and Chocolate and the Carp River, all kinds of different river systems you can find to get yourself on some trout, right? Now it's certainly not abundance of deer or wildlife, but I mean, if you're out into deer hunting, there's lots of different options you can find for that because there's a lot of open space here in Marquette County and just even surrounding areas. So there's a lot of different options you can find there as well. One of my favorite golf courses growing up was the Gray Walls Golf Course. I mean, this was an absolute stunner of a golf course. Opened, I don't know when it opened, but I actually remember mountain biking before the golf course was there. But this is an absolute beautiful golf course. I mean, this was in the top 100 public courses. Excellent place to play. Lots of fun. The only problem with Marquette County, there's only a few municipal tracks around the area. I mean, of course, if you head an hour and a half away, you do have like Timberstone and Sweetgrass and places like that. But there's not a lot of options right in town if you want to get out for a quick round. Other than the Marquette Country Club, Gens Homestead Course, Wawanawin Country Club, places like that. They're just not not the highest quality, right? I take that back. I'm not a golf snob, right? I mean, I had lots of fun playing those courses. I'm just saying, if you're someone that likes maybe you're used to Pebble Beach or whatever, I mean, you might not be as happy with golfing at a local country club. I'm just throwing that out there, right? And of course, these are both very small, very vibrant downtowns. So if you're looking for different breweries or places to eat or whatever, both these towns, have lots of good places you can go and catch a beer, whatever you do. Like I said, that's not my atmosphere. I'm more of I just don't have time for that. It's just not my thing. But I mean, there's all kinds of different breweries you can go or spend the evening, going out and checking a whole bunch of different places. So you have that option either place, whether it be Marquette or Traverse City. With that being said, let's move on into Traverse City. Let's keep that excitement level high, and we'll move right into Traverse City because there's a lot to do here. So I mean, Traverse City, just like Marquette, it is a beach town, right? I mean, it's right on the water, beautiful Grand Traverse Bay, all kinds of different shoreline to explore. I mean, we're not just narrowing this down right to Traverse City. All kinds of these little fingers and stuff that you can go explore. World famous, fall color tours all around the area. You will not, or you should not, get bored with the outdoor life here in Traverse City. Another thing to note, as I mentioned with Marquette, in Traverse City you have a much warmer lake, right? I mean, it's not much warmer, but I mean, it's much more palatable, if that's a word for it, right, than Lake Superior. It's not quite as chilly all year round. So all kinds of different things that you can do here. Traverse City is more well known as a touristy destination. So you can find a lot of those different touristy things to do around the area. Actually, one of the biggest touristy things to do, our biggest events that we have here in Traverse City would be the Cherry Festival. I mean, that attracts probably 500,000 people that are coming into Traverse City. So if you're expecting to come here in the summer and you want to try to get here for that time, expect to not be able to find a place if you're looking last minute. That could be a challenge to get in here for that. So not only does Traverse City have the beautiful lake, the big lake, they also have a lot of beautiful inland lakes that are very popular destinations. A lot of people have, second homes or their retirement homes on a lot of these lakes, the inland lakes, but they don't get the same weather effects that they get from the big lake. A lot better boat access and stuff like that. So a lot of people choose to live on a lot of these beautiful inland lakes. In the Traverse City area. But things like, hiking, skiing, I mean, there's just an abundance of things to do, right? I mean, see, if you're looking at skiing, for example, right? I may not have mentioned in Marquette, right? There's a lot of cross-country skiing, and they have Marquette Mountain for skiing. But here in Traverse City, you have lots of different options, right? You have a couple of different ski hills right in town. You also have, some major ski hills, or not major, I mean, all you Denver folks are looking at me there, but some really nice ski hills in the Traverse City area within like an hour's drive, right? You have Crystal Mountain, and then you also have Shush Mountain up over towards Bel Air there. So those are beautiful mountains that are more resort-style hills, and you could go and have a really good time there. And with that kind of terrain, I mean, they haven't quite the job as Marquette has done with like the summer activities, like the mountain biking and stuff, right in those specific areas. But they do have some up and coming trails, the Tart Trail in Traverse City, some different trails that you can go biking on and certainly enjoy the outdoors in that aspect. When we're talking about like fishing, for example. So the fishing here, I mean, you're going to have a little bit different water, a little bit different fish that you're catching. I mean, somewhat different fish, I mean, that you're catching in the Grand Traverse Bay, and even just, if you're going west to different ports and stuff, lots of good fish. Or if you're going lake fishing, right? Otherwise, they do have some world-class, trout fishing. If you're looking for trout fishing, steelhead fishing, salmon fishing in the fall, lots of good fishing, lots of good rivers here in the Traverse City area. Not only just Traverse City, but just even the Great White North, right, of the northern lower peninsula. I mean, lots of good fishing within hour and a half, day's trip to find a lot of good fishing that way as well. So Traverse City also does have a national lake shore, just like Marquette has Pictured Rocks. Traverse City has the Sleeping Bear Dunes. It's a beautiful landscape. Awesome. It's just amazing, the dunes that they have there. Just one word for the wise: if you're going to go down, remember that you have to come up. So that's one thing. I mean, it's a very big hill. A lot of people love to jump down the hill and get down there, but if you're trying to get it back up, that's another thing. And it costs a lot of money to get you out of there in an emergency evacuation situation. So just keep that in mind. Now, Traverse City, if you're looking for that, city life, right? I mean, we do have very nice downtown area. There's also lots of different breweries that you can enjoy. A lot of different wineries in the area, right? So lots of different things you can sample there if you're looking to do wine sample tours or whatever. So that's something fun that you can do as well. It'd be hard to get bored in either area. One thing that I just wanted to talk about between Marquette and Traverse City, Traverse City is a lot closer to a lot of these areas, so it's not as remote as Marquette is. So Marquette, I mean, equally beautiful city in my opinion, it's just more remote. So people aren't really going to Marquette, to explore the beaches or explore the area as much as they are Traverse City. With Marquette being, the closest town is places like Green Bay, which isn't, it's not a very large town, Green Bay, then Duluth, Milwaukee, some of those areas. But Traverse City is a lot of people that live in, that kind of lower half of Michigan, be it Detroit or Saginaw or Midland or Grand Rapids or Kalamazoo or Lansing, Ann Arbor, whatever it is. A lot of those folks, and even Detroit or even Chicago for that matter, are coming up the shoreline, up the Lake Michigan beaches, and a lot of them end up going up to Traverse City because it's just a beautiful area. And a lot of people that end up going there, they end up staying there. They end up buying a vacation rental. So if that's you, make sure you get a hold of me because I know some people that can help you with that. Again, all my contact information is down below. Reach out. Let's have a conversation. Let's see what will fit for you. Let's have that conversation. Let's not get sidetracked though. Let's get right back to it. So also with Traverse City, I talked about the golfing in Marquette County, Marquette as a whole. But what I haven't touched on yet is the golfing opportunity in Traverse City and the whole Traverse City area. Michigan is well known for its golf courses. I think recently it was ranked number 2 for public golf courses in the U.S. Northern Michigan is absolutely a treasure, a place to spend a lot of time here in Marquette, Michigan. That's also why it's so popular for second homes, vacation homes, wink wink, I'm your guy. But there's a lot of different golf courses in the area that you can go golfing on, right? I wish I spent more time golfing. I will spend more time. Like I said, I have 6 kiddos of my own. 4 of those are boys. So I will have some golf again in my near future to explore a lot of those places. But there's so many different golf courses, not only in Traverse City area, but a little bit north, a little bit east, a little bit west. Maybe not so much west because we're getting into the lake there, but just in that general area that you could spend. Gaylord is a real popular mecca for golfing, which is not that far from Traverse City. So there's so many different places that are beautiful, beautiful golfing. So without further ado, let's continue into the rest of it where we're talking about the housing costs, right? Because like I said, I am in real estate. I sell real estate here in the state of Michigan. And this is what the channel is all about. It's about you making a move to Marquette, Michigan, or heck, maybe it's Traverse City, Michigan. The housing costs, right? So first and foremost, I wanted to cover Marquette. Marquette as a whole, some might say, the housing average is what, 230, 250. I think I just kind of looking it up a little bit a minute ago. Maybe it's closer to 300, but really it kind of fluctuates depending on the inventory, because inventory is so short. So some months you might have a lot of homes that are really priced a lot higher. That really brings that average price point a little bit higher. But there's homes that are in Marquette County as a whole that are, right around that 100, 150 range. They might be a little bit junkier, but a lot of homes that will kind of drive that price down a little bit. So what I wanted to do for that, I actually wanted to jump on Realtor.com, kind of give you a brief idea of some of the homes in the area. So sometimes it's just best to just kind of scroll a little bit. Obviously you can scroll on your own, but this kind of gives you an idea of some of the homes in the area and what the prices are, kind of point out some things as we go, okay? So here we are in Marquette, 49855 is the zip code, 137 homes, and this also includes multifamily homes and stuff like that. But if here we're looking in Marquette, right, we have 415, 135, and this house has been on the market for a while. But looking here, there's some condos, 630, $1 million, 300,000, 100,000. Well, let me just make a quick adjustment. We'll look at houses only, okay? And we'll go to listing status, hide, pending, and contingent. So we will go from 59 down to 35 homes. So here's our options, right? It has really gone down. So this is all in Marquette, I believe. Marquette. So look at some of these newer homes, right? You're looking at 700,000. But a lot of these older homes, you're looking at 230, 170. A lot of these homes you may not even consider moving into. So those are things you just have to keep in mind, right? So 1.4 million. I just want to kind of pull this. I want to go to the map here real quick. So this kind of gives you an idea of some of the homes in the area. Like I said, if you're going into Negaunee, there's actually not a whole lot in Negaunee even available right now. Like I said, sometimes people really like to be outside of Marquette, but they like to be considerably closer. So we do have a lot of options here in Ishpeming, kind of around that 150,000 price point, right? It's just not a lot in Negaunee. That's crazy. But anyway, so that gives you just a quick idea of what some of the housing prices are and kind of the differences between, going into Marquette versus going into Negaunee. Obviously, as you can see here, right, we're looking at a lot of these prices here, 390, 544, 1.6, 700. Just a big price discrepancy when you're going from, living in the city of Marquette versus going out into Nagani or maybe going out into Harvey, where you might find a little bit more bang for your buck, but at the same point, there's just not a lot of inventory, not a lot of options for you to find. So with that being said, let's go into Traverse City real quick. So, I mean, if you look up Traverse City, I mean, really the average price point for Traverse City, I mean, it's hovering around that kind of 450, upwards even to 500,000, depending on where you're at. Obviously, if you go into the city, you might be spending a bit more. Obviously, you see a lot of these that are kind of around that 500, 600, 700, $1 million. I mean, if you're looking to go outside of the city a little bit, your prices will open up a little bit. But, I mean, as I sit here and scroll, right, 650, 800. 1.3 million, 295, and this is a home. It's in Williamsburg, just on kind of just west or east of Traverse City there. You look at some of these houses here, kind of gives you an idea of what kind of the pricing is in the area. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea. Like I said, I mean, I trust that you can scroll and kind of look around yourself, kind of give you a general idea. But if you're looking to move to either one of those areas, I mean, it's best to really reach out as soon as you can. Like I said, all my information is down below. You'll reach out, have that conversation. We'll find out more about what you're looking for. We'll talk to a lender, get some ideas of what you're looking to do and when you're looking to do it. If you're looking to make a move to Marquette, making a look to move to Traverse City or whatever it is. I mean, I'm here to help you here in the great state of Michigan. Again, this is Travis Juntti with the Living in Marquette Michigan team. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to make sure you get notified anytime we put out new content. I appreciate you watching till the end. Until next time, we'll see you on Living in Marquette, Michigan.